Problem with item E.
Okay, what, you want to tell me the problem, or you want me to explain?
My problem is there's a lot of houses and residents that are closer than 1,000 feet to a school.
Yeah, there wouldn't be an enforcement for someone living next. Number one, let me clarify this, because the law eliminated the 1,000 feet of a school carrying a gun for permit holders. So if you're a permit holder, there is no violation for being 1,000 feet from school.
Okay.
It's if you don't have a permit, you could be cited for being within 1,000 feet of the school.
Okay, what if I got a shotgun and I'm out in the, I throw it in the trunk of the car. I'm 1,000 feet within the.
We're not gonna cite you.
Okay.
That. I mean, there's gotta be some common sense here, and if, let's
Okay.
say a rogue officer would do something that, would conflict, I doubt if you'd be, well, it's my opinion, I doubt if you'd be held liable for something.
Okay.
There was some discussion on that, because again, there's a number of conflicts in the law. For example, the law allows for employees, people to leave their guns in their cars in parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
But it's against the law to have guns on school grounds, permits or not. So we're trying to find out what trumps what. Does the allowance for employees to keep their guns in their car for teachers trump the fact you can't have guns on school grounds? So there's a question that's being pursued.
I know it was discussed at length, and they really haven't resolved it. What happens when I go to a football game or a basketball game and I've got a permit and I leave it in the car?
That's fine. Public street, parking lot, you can do that. That leads to other issues, I think.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a lot of cars with guns in it.
Yeah.
It's another issue, but, there's a lot of things that aren't answered yet that we'll have to wait and see. I guess, looking at the bigger picture, looking at long term, we are now the 49th state that has some form of carry and concealed weapon. Everybody has gone through this growing pains, this concern. You talk to anybody that's had it for a while, I think people just get used to it. It's out there.
Okay.
There's not going to be a lot of problems. I don't anticipate a lot of problems here. Majority of people that are going to get permits are going to be law-abiding, normal people, and we're not going to have issues. I think we have to have ordinances in place. We have the laws in place, like for anything, for that small percentage of the people that don't want to follow the rules. That's all it's for. It's not for the average citizen of Franklin. This is not going to affect people.
Alderman Olson.
Thank you. I appreciate what Alderman Skronsky had to say. He's got experience in this. I don't. I'm not a gun person. I don't own one. Last time I shot one was in 1982 in the desert in Arizona, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a cactus to save my life. So, I have no experience in this, but I do have an opinion that, the Second Amendment is there for purpose. I appreciate trying to be proactive in this, but I think, I would support this ordinance, section 1 only. I would not support section 2.
Alderman Wilhelm.
Well, there's a few things that aren't spelled out to me enough tonight for me to really feel comfortable about my vote, and one of them was, some of the things you talked about liability. All I have is a few things that you said. I don't have anything from any insurance companies. I don't have any of that information. I also don't have before me the employee policy you're talking about putting in place, which might have an effect on how I might feel about this as well. So, personally, I think if the police chief is recommending this, it's probably a sound practice. It's fine. I don't really see any issues, but also my thought is to table this until the meeting of October 31st to allow for the city attorney and the police chief and the director of administration to provide a written determination about the insurance liability details, offer constituent input for the people that might not know this is before us, since others know in the audience. And also to get the employee policy prior to a vote on the resolution. And I guess that would be my suggestion, my motion.
Is there a second for that motion? No second, motion fails for lack of second. Anything else on the bill?
Well, I guess if everyone seems to know what the employee policy is on and everything they're gonna vote on this prior to reading all of that, they must have a bigger, crystal ball and it's a lot clearer than me, so I guess I'll defer to my colleagues who happen to know the future.
Alderman Skransky?
Yeah, I have my hand up, but Doug, if you want to say a word, because I'd like to say something after you.
Alderman Schmidt?
Well, I myself am not a proponent of guns concealed anywhere, but I know a kid that I grew up with at a very young age was cleaning his shotgun in his farmhouse and accidentally shot his mother to death at a very young age. So, and that was a farm family, you're out in the country, and I understand, the use of guns for hunting and stuff, but you never know when they're loaded. As far as changing this, I think I'm concerned if we start putting the signs in the public buildings, such as the library, that suddenly it's the notion, puts the gun notion in your thoughts, as opposed to just carrying on the way it is right now. So I don't know that having that as a viable option it's not going to change. The people who are going to cause mayhem are not going to worry whether or not they got their permit, or if there's a sign posted that they're going to leave their gun outside if they want to come in here and do something. I don't know which one of us is going to be getting into a shootout with them. This won't be me. I'll be ducking under the desk.
I'll join you.
Alderman Skransky?
Yeah, I appreciate everybody's comments, but for years being involved in weapons and hunter safety course and things of that nature, we've never had an accident. Not saying that you can't have it, but I think I think you create more of a hysteria by doing it, because everybody becomes more sensitive. Until now, nothing happens. Not saying you can't, but it's. I really don't think it's necessary, and I would like to make the motion not to adopt this ordinance that is presented with us here tonight in G1.
Are you, Alderman Skransky, are you in favor of section 1 but not section 2?
Both sections.
You're against both sections?
Yes.
Okay, is there a second for Alderman Skransky's motion?